Hey folks, this is Nate Moore bringing you your Intentionality tip of the week. It's my goal to help you create a life that's lived on purpose with purpose. So today I want to bring you a story that I heard a lot growing up, and maybe you've heard it as well. It's about a man who's just one day walking through a field, and as he's walking through this field, he stumbles across something that is just the most amazing thing he's ever seen. He finds his buried treasure in the middle of the field. This treasure has him so mesmerized that that's all that he can focus on. So he immediately covers the treasure back up so no one else can see it. He runs off, goes home, sells everything that he owns, doesn't hold anything back, gets all the money he can, and goes back to that field, purchases the field. That way he can have that treasure. Have you heard that story before? It's used quite often as a story of faith in heaven, but what I found is that it really applies to our everyday life. We all have treasures in our life, treasures that are just so amazing and we're so fortunate to have them. Sometimes we take them for granted. We've had them for so long we don't even realize how valuable they are anymore. Other times we abuse them and just mistreat them to where they're just dull and lose their shine. Sometimes we allow other people to come in and appraise our treasures, whether that's through compliments or kind gestures, things that we should be saying or doing, but we miss the opportunity because we take that treasure for granted. And unfortunately for some, the treasure is stolen right from underneath you because you don't even realize it's gone until it's too late. So going back to the story of this man and his treasure, as soon as he found the treasure, right away, he realized how valuable it was. And there were 4 things he did. First and foremost, he assessed and appraised its value. He knew that this was the most important thing he had ever seen in his life. Once he appraised the value of the treasure, he immediately went into number 2, and that was protecting it. He covered it back up to make sure that nothing can hurt it or destroy it, and to make sure people can't steal it. He made sure to go through the legal means and the proper means by acquiring the land and becoming the owner of that treasure. And finally, number 4, he prioritized this treasure. He sold everything else and made it the most important thing in his life. So my challenge for you today is to 1, identify what your true treasures are. Assess whether or not you're praising them, whether or not you're giving them the credit that's deserved. Do they know where they lay in your life? Do they know where they are as far as a priority in your life? Do they know what their value is to your life? Protect them at all costs. Don't allow casual influences to come in and change that. Protect them at all costs. And finally, prioritize them. You know, I have several treasures in my life, but the number 1 that comes to mind is my wife. So if I apply this screen, what it tells me is I should be appraising her on a regular basis. I should be telling her what her worth is. I should be recognizing what her worth is. I should be protecting her, making sure that she feels loved, making sure that she feels protected, making sure that I'm not allowing outside influences to change how I look at her, whether that's the internet and all these girly girls that are on there, whether that's hanging out with the buddies and telling dirty jokes, whether that's having inappropriate relationships. I got to make sure that we do things the right way. So rather than us just living together for 6, 7, 8 years, I made sure to marry her, put that ring on it. That permission slip, as I like to call it. And I got to make sure that I prioritize her. That's the way I apply these 4 filters to it. And I challenge you to identify your treasures and start applying these filters to it. My name is Nathan Moore, and this is your Intentionality Tip of the Week. Hope you have a blessed week.